So Dye having to work a little bit here. The 48th pitch of his outing coming. That one's lined into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. That ball's going to get by the center fielder, Popa, and on to second goes Noah Sue. So Noah Sue in his first at-bat for the Mountaineers, a line drive into left center field, an RBI double. Mountaineers now lead 2-0. And the 2-2. That one's driven deep to left field. He got it. That ball is gone. Trey Hall knew he got that one the second he hit it. His first home run of the season, and that gives the Mountaineers a 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the count now 1-2. Bottom of the 7th inning, Mountaineers lead 7-5 over Upper Valley. As stepping off is Hanson. To look out for this strikeout pitch. You got Kelly to end the bottom of the 6th inning. Got him looking for another one. Here is the 1-2. That was driven into right center field. Going back is Medori. He's not going to get there. That ball's going to split the outfielders all the way in right center field. Scoring is Brett Malm. Going to third is Nate Grice, and he's going to slide into third with a triple. That ball's going to get past the third baseman. That's going to be out of play. Scoring on the play is Nate Grice. So an RBI triple for Nate Grice. He then scores on the error, and it's now 9-5 Mountaineers. The 1-1, that one's driven deep to right field. Going back is Callaway. That ball is gone! Austin Maysell with a walk-off home run to win it for the Mountaineers. I was just about to say Maysell had 4 home runs at Holy Cross this year. His first of the year, a walk-off job, and the Mountaineers take this one from Winnipesaukee 3-2. And that pitch is grounded up the middle. Parker Fields in the hole, flips on a second for the out, and the Mountaineers take Game 3 of the Governor's Cup over Upper Valley, 9-5. That is the Mountaineers' longest win streak of the year at 2 games. Welcome back. It's the top of the 8th inning here. Andrew Whalen joined by Mike Lord, and it's a 4-4 tie. And this game, we saw 2 big innings. The top of the 1st inning, you guys got 3. We got 4 in the bottom of the 4th, and then it's kind of been an offensive stalemate from there as the first pitch from Morella misses high to Jaron Robinson.
Yes, the Blue Sox scored on some fielding miscues.
That one's popped foul, first base side. Medina's going to have a look, but he's going to let that one continue on into the stands. So on the day, Robinson 1 for 3, was single back in the 1st inning, was then thrown out on an interesting play that allowed Kapuzinski to score. Also grounded out and flew out. There's the 1-1. Morella misses high with the fastball there. 2-1 now. Looks like another lefty down there in the Mountaineers bullpen starting to just get loose. It's Ryan Lekic, the lefty from Baylor. As Arella's 2-1. Another fastball upstairs as Arella's been missing high today, so 3-1. Frankie Gregoire on deck. Arella's 3-1. And another pitch high. Arella needs to make that adjustment here as he walks the leadoff batter, Robinson. And now it will be Gregoire, who's 1 for 3 so far today, but his last out was also a hard hit ball. He hit a double back in the 4th, a fly out and a ground out, but that ball to Jar Parker he hit was a frozen rope that Parker speared. Trey Hall's going to have a quick meeting out there with Arella as Lekic starting to throw down there in the pen. Not going to be ready for at least a batter or 2. Ground ball would be absolutely huge here as the right-handed hitting left fielder Gregoire steps in. So Lekic came in the 7th, got out of a jam, and then immediately walked the first runner in the top of the 8th. That fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. A better pitch there as that one was right around the knees. Earl again from East Northport, Long Island, attends Villanova, pretty good school. The 0-1, and swing and a miss through a fastball by Gregoire there. So count now 0-2.
Of course, not to mention Villanova NCAA men's basketball title back in April.
Yeah, it was probably a fun time to be a Villanova student, a Wildcat. So I had to think there for a second of what their mascot was. I think I got that right. The 0-2 coming. Swing and a miss. The throw down to first on a back pick, diving back in safely is Robinson, but down swinging is Gregoire. He has some words for home plate umpire Rick Force there. He's the first out of the inning. And Arella, you know, the velocity isn't anything that jumps off the screen to you. It's mid-80s, 85, 86, 87, but he just threw 2 fastballs by Gregoire there.
I think the movement on the pitches has a lot to do with it, too, because the hitter just can't dial in on it.
So now with 1 out, the first pitch to Michael Roth in there for a strike, top of the zone. Roth 1 for 3, a double, came around to score back in the 6th inning. Would prove to be a big run as the game is now tied at 4. The 0-1, that breaking ball in the dirt, a good block there from Trey Hall to keep that one in front.
And of course, Villanova is the champions 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, Jay Wright runs a good program down there. Jaron Robinson off first. He's got 4 stolen bases. I think Arella read my mind as he checks over there on Robinson back in standing. And, you know, Roth, a bigger guy out there and susceptible to the double play ball. And Arella would like nothing more than that. There goes the runner. The throw from Trey Hall. It's going to be high. And in there with his 5th stolen base of the year is Jaron Robinson. So there goes the double play. As now it'll be a runner on second with 1 out. The go-ahead run is Valley's looking to get this lead here in the top of the 8th inning.
Good pitch for Robinson to run on. A tough play for Hall. I think normally in an ideal world, he would have been able to set and throw it on the line, but he had to get rid of the ball so fast that he released it probably a split second before he wanted it and kind of airmailed it.
Looks like Lekic getting real hot down there in the bullpen. We'll see how much longer the Coach Nation sticks with one lefty or if he elects to go to the other lefty. It'll be a 2-1 count here to Roth. Off second, Jaron Robinson. He walked and stole a bag. And he's only 180 feet away here from scoring as the 2-1 to Roth. And that one misses high, so 3-1 now. See John Kane running relays down there from the bullpen back to the dugout to see if Lekic is ready. Arella down in the count, 3-1. A dangerous pitch here coming to Roth. Swung on and missed. He gassed him up with a fastball there. Count now full at 3-2. This would be a huge out here for Arella to get to the 9-hitter Simon Whiteman with 2 outs. We'll see what he comes with here. He looks like he's been pretty exclusive fastballs. The 3-2 coming from Arella. Swung on and missed. Threw a fastball by him there. Is some more choice words for the umpire. Michael Roth is giving Rick Force an earful as he just goes back to the dugout after striking out swinging. 2 strikeouts in a row for Arella. Now with 2 outs, it'll be Simon Whiteman, the second baseman, stepping up. He was the one that put the ball in play that scored Michael Roth back in the 6th inning, a chopper that got over the head of Jar Parker. It's the first pitch from Arella, and that one's fouled first base side out of play. As Arella putting a little extra behind that one. The last 2 pitches, 87 respectively. Trying to gas him up a little bit here. Arella, not a great ball-to-strike ratio, 14-14, but the last 2 batters, he's really dialed it back in. 2 consecutive strikeouts.
It's the first time the 2 Blue Sox hitters have struck out consecutively.
And in danger of 3 in a row here as Arella's up in the count now 0-2 after Whiteman fouled that one back to the screen.
Boy, what a momentum builder this would be for the Mountaineers if Arella can get out of this unscathed and you can go to your ace reliever.
So the 0-2 coming here to Whiteman. And looked like a change up there missed way outside as Hall had to jump out of the crouch there just to get that one.
Yeah, looked a little off speed, 77 on the radar.
So the 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed. A huge job there for Tyler Arella after walking the leadoff hitter. He strikes out the next 3 batters consecutively and they get out of this inning. Going into the bottom of the 8th inning, the game remains 4-4 between Vermont and Valley. Welcome to another night of Mountaineers baseball here from Recreation Field in Montpelier. The matchup tonight is between the Newport Gulls and the Vermont Mountaineers, and joining me up in the booth is the voice of the Newport Gulls, Dave Peck. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. It's good to finally be here in Montpelier, Vermont. First time ever.
It took you guys a month and a half and almost the end of the season before we finally even played you guys. We haven't gone down to Newport yet, so that's what we were saying is we're the only teams that we hadn't played each other. We played everyone else but each other.
And actually lucky because there was rain in the area. We're the only Southern Division team playing today, and with rain for the rest of the week in the NECBL, it's going to be a packed end of the season.
We'll see what happens. The Mountaineers head, after an off day tomorrow, they head on a southern trip. They have Ocean State on Tuesday. You guys on Wednesday down at Cardines. Thursday at New Bedford. Friday at Plymouth. And like Dave just said, it's a questionable looking forecast. And it's tough because if any of those games get rained out, it's going to be a very difficult situation to try to squeeze one of those in. It might be a situation where they play a day-night doubleheader at 2 different games while they're down there because, it's not a quick trip to get down to any of those teams down there in the Southern Division. That's not really what we want to do this late in the season.
Yeah, no, there's not really much room. I mean, after the All-Star game, there are 3 days. Newport right now already has the Monday that was originally off, rescheduled. They traveled to Danbury. Then Tuesday they traveled to Sanford, and Wednesday, August 1st, they host the Mystic Schooners. Right now they're tied with the Schooners for the final playoff spot in the Southern Division. Both teams 2.5 games back. The Plymouth Pilgrims, who are first, but that one will be a big one. And then right after that, the next day, the NECBL playoffs start. So it's like you said. I mean, it could be you host a team, finish up the game, then get on the bus and go somewhere else.
I can't even imagine. That would be. I've never had to play anything like that before, so that's got to be tough. And hopefully we don't get to that scenario. So hopefully, and the forecast tonight not great either. It rained a little bit this morning, but it's held up, and the field actually looks really good. That rain definitely helped, soften up the dirt a little bit. The Mountaineers coming off a big win last night against Keene. It was a 12-9 statement win for the Mountaineers. They put up 12 runs on 15 hits, and they beat the Keene Swampettes in their own game, which Keene is very good offensively. The Mountaineers were able to score those 12 runs, and the big guy last night was Ron Dog Medina, 4 for 4, missed a cycle by a triple. He had a single, 2 doubles, and a home run, and unfortunately he did get to third on one of those doubles, but it was an error by one of the outfielders. So I had someone come up to me, I think it was JT, one of our back kids, was in the booth with us last night. He goes, Ron Dog just hit for the cycle. I said, it was a double, JT. It wasn't a triple. I had to break his heart. I felt bad.
That's tough.
But still, 4 for 4 with a single, 2 doubles, a home run, 5 RBIs, and then Brett Malm coming off the bench, hadn't played in 5 games with a sore wrist, pinch hits in the bottom half of the 6th inning, bases clearing triple with the bases loaded. 2 huge batters in that game that really helped push Vermont. The pitching, Mark Connor, not his best start, only lasted an inning and a third. He gave up 5 runs on 4 hits. Levi Abramson, good job of settling the game down out of the pen. The Mountaineers were down 5-0 after an inning and a half. It wasn't looking too hot. We were thinking, we were going to see some position guys maybe start to get on the mound just to save some arms. But Levi comes out of the pen and throws almost 4 innings, only gives up 1 run. Lutner gets the win with 1 inning in relief, and then Lekic picks up the save. Not his best outing. He threw 3 innings. He did give up 3 runs, but he was able to shut the door there in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So a big win for the Mountaineers. It gave them their 15th win of the season. They're now 15-21. They sit 6 games back of both Keene and Sanford. Is the Northern Division not quite as tight as the Southern Division looking right now? Dave, I don't know if you want to update us on how you guys ended up doing last night.
Yeah, Newport winning its 5th straight game last night, 7-6 over the rivaled Ocean State Waves in 10 innings. The starter was Jake Eater out of Vanderbilt. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, walked 4. That was his biggest problem, and struck out 8. All 3 of the runs came in that 3rd inning. Besides that, he was sharp. He did struggle with runners on base. He had 4 1-2-3 innings in the ball game, but when runners were on base, they were going after him and being very aggressive. Nate Ryder picked up the win, usually the closer, leads the NECBL with 8 saves. He went 4 innings, giving up just 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and a strikeout. Offensively, it was Jack Gethings 5 for 6 with 1 run. Jason Gonzalez hit his 5th home run in 5 games. It was a 3-run shot. And then Tim Tawa in the top of the 8th inning with a solo home run. Nobody on base, 2 outs, and he was able to lift Newport past the Ocean State Waves, and Nate Ryder closing the door. So they've been good. I mean, in this stretch, batting .325 as a team, 15 home runs, In the last 5 games, that's averaging 3, I believe, a game, if my math is correct.
You are correct.
Dalton Reed, 522 during this stretch, 4 home runs. Mangrum, 474 during this stretch, and Jason Gonzalez, 348 with those 5 home runs. So it's been best baseball at the right time for Newport, and we'll see if they can keep it going.
That's what we were talking about. The end of the season playoff race, it's really all about who gets hot late in the year. They can carry on that momentum into the playoffs. You guys now tied for 3rd in the Southern Division. You're tied with Mystic for 2.5 games back of Plymouth. But right now, I don't know who owns the tiebreaker, you guys or Mystic, but it's going to be a close race with about 8 games left in the season.
Yeah, currently Newport leads the head-to-head 3-2, and the final game of the season is against the Schooners on August 1st. So it will be very interesting. We'll see if Newport can maybe gain some ground before that, so it doesn't have to necessarily go to a tiebreak, but that is basically a wild card game. It could be.
Whoever runs the NECBL Twitter is going to have a field day with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
If it gets down to that situation, I can just envision what they're going to post on that. We'll see what does end up happening, but we'll talk about tonight, the game tonight between the Gulls and the Mountaineers, and we'll talk about the pitching matchup tonight as Vermont's going to send out their big lefty, John Kane, the left-hander from Manhattan. He's 2-0 on the year, a 3.62 ERA in 22 and a third innings pitched. He's walked 7 and struck out 20, and he's pitched very well. He hasn't thrown a ton of games so far. He came on late in the year, but he's been very good. It's going to be his 5th game. His last time out was July 15th, against Upper Valley. It was a 7-inning. It was a doubleheader. He pitched 6 innings. He actually pitched the start of the 7th inning. Didn't end up lasting an out. He only gave up a hit in his 1 batter in the 7th. But he pitched 6 innings. He only gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits. And he's just the only problem with John Kane that I've seen. He's a big guy, 6'10", 235, and he's prone to leaving balls up in the zone. He misses a lot high in the zone, and we've seen his walks up a little bit. He walked only 1 the last time out. He walked 4 in a start against Sanford on June 30th. He can be prone to elevating the ball a little bit and, leaving it up. So we'll see maybe if he's got a little bit more location today. He has a good fastball. It sits right around 88 to 90, but being 6'10 with his stride, it's got to look faster than that because, when you have that crazy stride and you're releasing the ball, 54 feet away from the plate, it's going to look harder than 90, even if that's what it's coming in at. So John Kane, when he's around the zone, he's extremely effective. He just needs to work on a little bit more, accuracy and being around the plate a little bit more. And I'll have you talk about this. We're back here at the Rec in Montpelier, Vermont. The Mountaineers took the last game of the season over the North Adams Steeplecats 5-0. And, it was a game just dominated by Mountaineers pitching as Andrew Noosa went 6 2/3, lights out innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Will Oppenheim came in. A little bit iffy, but he ended up not walking a single batter. He struck out 3 in an inning in the 3rd, and then really iffy Mark Connor there in the top half of the 9th. The bases were loaded, but he was able to work around it, not give up a run as they complete the shutout. And unfortunately, no pitcher BP as this was the last game of the season.
Yeah, tough, but you said it right there. You hit the nail on the head. Noosa is the reason this game's a win for the Mountaineers. I mean, you want to break it down no better than that. That is the best start you could imagine out of that guy. You saw how easily that the Steeplecats could put up runs as they almost did it there in the top of the 9th, but that was one there that Noosa dominated the whole game, and really tip your cap there to him. The Mountaineers offense obviously gave him enough. A little bit of a lead was enough for him to cruise in this one.
Yeah, it was back in the 3rd inning. The Mountaineers got things going. Medina singled. That scored Nate Grice. And then Acuff singled. That scored Medina. In the 4th, McGill doubled. That drove in Bryce Kelly. And then in the 8th, Paul Witt with the big blow, a 2-run home run to straightaway left field that gave Vermont the 5-0 lead. And that was about it. Bryce Kelly had a very good day at the plate. He went 4 for 5. He broke the single-season hits record and games played record for the Mountaineers. He set that record. It's now going to be 54 hits and 42 games played in a season, so good for Bryce. And also Nate Grice, 2 for 4 today. He had a double in the 8th inning, and that was the big one. It set the single-season's double record for the Mountaineers. He broke the record that was held by A.J. Pollock back in 2007. He now has 16 on the year. Other than that, Acuff with a couple knocks and an RBI. Parker, Tressler, McGill, Medina, and Witt all had hits. The only person that didn't have a hit was Sam Duran. Unfortunately, went 0 for 5. But it was a good all-around win. A good way to end the season, I think.
Yeah,
unfortunate
absolutely.
for you guys.
Yeah, but you'll take it still.
Absolutely. And unfortunate for you guys. You couldn't wrap up the season probably the way you wanted to, but still a good season for you guys. A lot of very good players, and Jackson Cooch, just unbelievable season this year. He's going to go back to URI in the fall with just so much confidence after this season.
Yeah, not before he heads to the Cape. He's on his way there right now. So you want to talk about gaining confidence? That's how you do it right there. So
that's great. That about wraps it up here, and I just want to take a minute to say thank you for everyone that has listened throughout the year to me, both on the NECBL Broadcast Network and WSKI. I came into this. I had never broadcasted a baseball game because I was always playing, and I think Matt was in a very similar boat as I was. He's still a player. I just graduated, so thank you for everyone who probably stuck with me early in the year. It probably was a little bit rough, but as we continued, 44 games just absolutely flew by, and it was an absolute pleasure to broadcast for all you. And Matt, I assume the same is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. This has just been an absolutely hands-down great experience, and I'm really so thankful. It's been a lot of fun, for the whole summer, and you get to work with some great people, yourself included. So it's just been a pleasure, absolutely, to say the least.
Well, everyone, I'll sign off for one last time. Thank you very much again for a great season. As always, go Mountaineers. Andrew Whalen, Matt Stewart signing off for the last time this season.